Virginia's virtual viewers and Wings of Wisdom listening audience. I am so excited to be featuring Mr. Brian K. McNeill, and that's with 2 L's. He is the Sales Skills Improvement Evangelist, and he is also the dedicated and devoted husband to Dr. Lisa Santiago McNeill, and he's a former veteran. So thank you for your service, sir, and I am so excited that you are here today on today's episode. So give Virginia's virtual viewers and Wings of Wisdom listening audience a brief backdrop of your bio, and let's dive deep on mastering the art of sales.
Thank you very much, Sister Virginia Rutherford-Hall. I'm happy to be here today, and I am going to bless your audience today. I see one of the people that I see knowing that they are out here shaking and moving the world. Dr. Tina J. Ramsey is already in the house. How you doing, Dr. Tina? My name is Brian K. McNeill, and I am the Sales Skills Improvement Evangelist. That's why I like the title Evangelist, because that's an zealot advocate for. And I do think the ability to sell has more to do with our happiness and sadness, or prosperity or poverty, than just about anything else. We do sell our ways through life. But yes, I am a current military veteran. I am an Army veteran. I am married. I am a minister as well. I'm a father and a husband and a grandfather. Paul B, that's who I am. And I spend my life helping entrepreneurs to sell themselves, which they often forget, and their services better than they ever have before, so they can earn more money than ever before. I'm super excited to have you invite me into your space, and I'm going to bless today.
I am so grateful you are here. I love the fact that you are a veteran and an evangelist. So I'm grateful. So how did your journey as a veteran and also as an evangelist shape your approach to sales and entrepreneurship and coaching?
Oh, my. What a great question. It was going to require a big answer, though. I went to the Army when I was 17 years old because my mother and I had a different idea about how the household should be run, and it was her house. So I had the choice to get out or confirm, and I got out and joined the Army. And when I was in the Army, I decided to jump out of planes for a living, too, while I was in the Army. And when I got out of the Army, and as I was going through life, I got married to a beautiful woman. And she showed up at the job one day and said, "Brian, we're pregnant." And she never had showed up at my job before. And I realized that my job as a front desk supervisor was not going to be enough to afford a wife and baby. So, and people have been telling me for a while, Sister Virginia, that you'd be good at sales, Brian. You'd be good at sales. And at that time, I didn't know what sales was. I was 23 years old. I didn't even know what sales was. So I looked in a newspaper. That's how long ago that was. And I looked in the help wanted section, and I found a sales category, and I saw an ad that says entry-level sales will train. And I said, that's me, because I don't know what it is. So I went there, I interviewed, they hired me. And Sister Virginia, it was a straight commissioned sales job. And some of you guys, as soon as I say the words, they're going to do just like she did and sit back. Straight commission means if you ain't got no sales, you ain't making no money. And the training consisted of hang in there, you'll figure it out. That was their training. And I was starving. I was dying. I was horrible at it for the first 10 months until I discovered my first book on selling. And it was called How to Master the Art of Selling. And on page 4 of that book, it talked about why you cannot fail in selling. And I needed someone to tell me that because I was dying. I was hurting. But page 4 talks about if you'll just do the basis of what you're supposed to do, you can't fail in sales. So I finished that book and I got another one and I got another one. And by my count, I've read more than 700 books, how to sell, manage salespeople, or self-improvement, as well as publishing 8 books of my own. So that was a journey for me to get here.
Wow. So sales, that's your actual baby. And I actually had a sales coaching session with you, and I want to thank you for that coaching session. It was absolutely amazing. It was intense. But it was amazing. So tell me this. I love the fact that you're an evangelist. What spiritual or biblical principle have guided your path in both business and ministry?
Well, I do believe in God, and I do believe in the tenets of the Bible, and the Bible is very pro-business. It talks about the millionaires in the Bible. It talks about doing business until I return, but there's certain scriptures that mean more to me than others. Like, for example, Proverbs 11:26 says, the people will curse the ones that withhold the grain. They wish blessings upon the ones that will sell it. So, and our grain today are the answers we have, or our intellectual property, or our solutions. And the way I read that Bible verse is basically saying, if you got something that'll help the people, if you got something that the people would want, and you don't sell it in exchange for something of value, money, if you don't sell it, curse you. They're going to want curses on you. But if you will sell it, bless you, and the people will want blessings on you. If you have a solution, you're supposed to sell it. The Bible says, sell it, okay? Be willing to sell it. It doesn't say be willing to give it, okay? And there's also a parable that's written 3 times in the Bible. It's in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, the same parable, the parable of the talents. And if you give one servant 10 talent, one servant 5 talent, one servant 1 talent, I don't want to go through the whole thing right now, but basically that parable is basically saying, if you have a talent, you're supposed to use that talent to make money. And if you don't use that talent, if you hide the talent, there's penalties for that. You're going to be banished into the outer courts, but there's going to be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. You lazy and wicked servant, I gave you this talent and you did nothing with it. You're supposed to. And one more, the sin of the desert that convicts my life every day. The sin of the desert. The sin of the desert is when you know where the water is, but you won't tell anyone else. You know where the solution is, but you're keeping it to yourself. You know how to help them, but you're not telling them about your abilities to help. You're committing the sin of the desert, and the sin of the desert is the height of selfishness. So if you're not selfish, if you can help the people with an answer you have, you're supposed to.
Wow, that is powerful. That is powerful.
My girl Ray J is in the house. I see her.
Yes, and Dr. Tina J. Ramsey is making all of this possible for me on Roku TV, Fire TV, Apple TV. So I'm so grateful. And Wings of Wisdom show hit the number 3 spot last month.
Congratulations.
Yes. So tell me this, your upcoming book. I know you got several out there. Selling financial services is different. I'm in the financial arena, so I got to get your book. I want an autographed copy, so let me know how I can pay for this to get that and get an autographed copy somehow. So you have to figure it out.
If you go through my website, you can get an autographed copy. If you go through Amazon, they're just gonna send it to you direct. But if you go through me on my website, it'll come from my house, so I'll get your autographed copy. My upcoming book. You mentioned my upcoming book. It's really about a day or 2 away from being made public. That's how close it is. Cover everything done. My publisher has it. All of that stuff. Editing, everything is done. It's like a day or 2 before we press the button to make it public. But it's called Selling Financial Services is Different, because I see it as different. It's not the same as selling coaching services or network marketing or real estate. When you're talking about someone's money, you're very, very personal. The industry, the financial services industry, it kind of forces people to conform to sell logically, because it makes sense. If the clients will put this much money into this vehicle, they're going to get this kind of results. That makes sense. That's such a smart thing to do. The challenge is your clients don't buy that way. They buy what they want way faster than what they need. They buy for the sake of someone else way faster than for themselves. So you have to constantly tell people in the financial services industry that you have to sell with emotion versus logic. Use your logic just to justify, but emotion to sell. And I teach how to do that with the tools. The words you use, like emotional words. Like the most emotional word in the English language starts with an L. What is it? Love. And most adults have taught themselves how to not say the word love and never use it. But I encourage, especially people in financial services, to talk about the word love as they're selling their services. You're going to love knowing, your family's going to love that you. Using simple tools like using the word love can help sell and help keep it on an emotional track instead of just logical. And then the second most emotional word in English language starts with an H. And what is it?
Emotional?
The second most emotional word in the English language starts with an H. What do you think it is, Sister Jacqueline? Huh?
Hope.
Hope is a good guess. Actually, the word that evokes the most emotion in the world is love. The word that evokes the second most emotion is the word home. Home, home. Ray, of course, Ray would know because Ray is a regular part of my world. It's actually the word home. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the guess. It's actually the word home. And you're finding a way to use the word home in selling financial services. Everyone in your home will be protected. Everyone in your home will appreciate that this has been done. And a sentence that uses both the word love and home, you're going to love knowing that everyone in your home is protected. You're going to love knowing that everyone in your home has a financial future that's much more secure. You're going to love not have to worry about your home. Those kind of sentences can take on an almost hypnotic effect, but you have to learn how to use them.
Yeah, that's powerful. So what is the number one mistake that professionals are making when they're trying to actually sell, like being pushy presumptuous?
The number one mistake entrepreneurs and salespeople are making today, and it is so pervasive, and it's so the number one mistake entrepreneurs are making today is they never ever even ask for business. They won't even ask for it. They want to be liked, and they don't want to risk being liked. So they never, ever ask for business. They'll do a good presentation and then hope. They'll do a good presentation or might say, what do you think? But they never formally ask for business. That's the number one mistake. Entrepreneurs today, they will do all kinds of stuff, but never ask for business. They'll hope they're hoping that the clients will say, hey, Sister Virginia, I know you're in financial services. I need your financial services. And will you give me a plan that I only have to pay $100 a month? They're hoping that will happen, but it doesn't happen like that. That's right. Sister Stephanie Rousseau, that's right. People who think they don't like selling, that's not true. They do like selling because they like getting the money they get in exchange for what they offer. They love that. They never received money in exchange for anything and thought, I don't like the fact that they paid me. But what the fear is, the potential for rejection. That's what their fear is, potential of rejection. And that can be overcome too. But the number one crime, the number one problem, the number one entrepreneurs are having, they never ask for the business. Entrepreneurs that do have some sales training and some courage, they will ask for the business, but they'll only ask once or twice and then never again. The average sale happens after the 5th attempt, but only the champions make those attempts. Only the champions will follow up the requisite number of times. You can't ask for it 5 times in one sitting, but only the champions will follow up in a disciplined way until the sale is made. That's what the crime is. The challenge is not asking for the business. And here's how I would want you to ask. Those of you who are tuned in here today, I'm going to bless you. What I'm about to tell you, do not be floored by the power of its simplicity. This thing I'm about to tell you right now is powerful and magical. If you'll just say these words, once you believe the client understands what you're offering, once you believe they understand how you're benefiting them, once you believe they have a full understanding of what they get for the money, I want you to say these words. Will you give us a try? Will you give my service a try? Will you give this program a try? Will you give us a try? It's such an amazing, non-threatening way to ask for the business. It doesn't hurt you. Ask them to give you and your services a try every time. Will you give us a try? When you only, Ray, I'm telling you, I understand where Ray's going. She wrote the word try. Only use the word try in this instance. Only use the word try after you believe they fully understand what they're getting and they know how much it costs. Ask them to give your services a try. Try is a tricky word, and I think that's might be where Ray's going with it. You don't say stuff like, when someone asks you what you do for a living, you don't say, I try to help people. That's a crime. No one's going to pay you for trying to help them. They'll pay you for helping them. But give our services a try once they understand what they're getting and how much it costs. That's when it's appropriate.
Wow. So
sing it, girl. Wow.
Wow. Wings of wisdom. Wow. So I love it. So tell me this. What are your leadership skills from the military? Yeah. How does that incorporate with what like continue to influence your sales, your business owners? How do you influence that with your leadership skills?
Now, the truism is that I've had jobs, I've been in the Army, and I've never had a job in any capacity longer than 6 months where I didn't end up in leadership at some point. I wonder how much this impacted me, but when I was 11 years old, the elite students in Brooklyn, New York got to go to a program called the Reach Out program. And it was leadership training for school students, leadership training for the summer. And I took that course, but I don't know how much that impacted, but every job I've ever had, every military place, I ended up in leadership somehow because I always do my best. I show up early. I always show up early, 30 minutes early minimally if I'm going anywhere. So even on the jobs, I always showed up to the job early because that gave me a time to get comfortable, get my coffee, get everything. So before I had to start, I always show up early. I work everything as good as I can, and I don't cut corners, which is a reliable leadership trait. And when companies see this, I had one job one time. I was launching my business as a sales trainer, but I still had a household to maintain. And I took a part-time job as selling over the phone during from 9 till 2. Okay, that's all it was. There are 70 or 80 telephone salespeople in the room, and I was there a week and a half, 2 weeks, and they called me into the office. My first day, I gave a class, by the way. My first day, they had this objection. They had a sales meeting, and they had this objection that's been bothering all of them. And I told them how to overcome that objection on the first meeting. And then they asked me, can you explain more? And I went up to the board and I showed them how to do it. My first day. But 2 weeks later, they came to me and said, Brian, we need you to be the sales manager here. And I was like, nah, I'm doing my own thing. I don't want to be the sales manager here. I'm doing my own thing. And then the week later, they said, Brian, you have to be the sales manager here. I said, what about this person? What about that person? They've been in the company much longer, and they know what they're doing. They're pretty good at it. Those people can do it, but they can't lead anybody else. We need you to do it. And I asked for a lot of money to be the sales manager, way more than I thought they would say yes to. And I told them, and this is going to kill you right here. I said, look, I'm only going to work 4 days a week. I won't work any Fridays. Okay. So they had to pay me a guaranteed salary, pretty high. And I only work 4 days a week because I had told them no already. And I was about to tell them no again. And they said, okay, we'll do it.
So you sold yourself.
Well, there was a concept going on there. The fear of loss is greater than the desire for gain. And when they realized that I could potentially just leave altogether, they wanted to do more. And people will do more to protect something that's already in the house instead of trying to find something else. They had some fear of loss because I already told you guys no. I don't want to be the leader of this group here. And
that's why I love your coaching service. If you are out there in the audience and you need a sales coach, you're in the industry and you don't know why you can't move forward, you're not able to lead, you got self-doubt, you have this coach here. You need to look no further. He is amazing. His exceptional coaching skills and evangelist approach is absolutely amazing. So tell me this, you help countless professionals, and what drives you and keeps you keep doing these workshops, these books, these
Yeah, yeah.
keynotes? What's the driving force behind you?
I believe God. I believe that God has uniquely gifted and qualified me. I think God has prepared me. And I think He has positioned me with a love of this and a desire to learn more and more of this and the ability to communicate it and teach it well. That I think that God wants me to help people to earn more money by teaching them to sell better. And I think if I don't do it, I'm showing dishonor to the gift that He gave me, the skill that He gave me. And I've seen enough people, Sister Virginia, that have taken even a little bit of my training that benefit greatly. I've helped people to pay their bills. I've helped people to pay their mortgage. I've helped people to grow their businesses over and over again. So, I believe my philosophies work. I know they work because I have enough units of conviction. But I think that if I don't do this, it's just like hiding my talent in the ground. I want to tell you something happened just yesterday in my business. They had a lady, she said she wanted to hire me. She had done a consultation with me, and she wanted to hire me as a sales coach. And I told her how much it'd be. And she goes, okay, I'll pay you tomorrow, which is fine. I don't care what day they say. I just want to put it on the invoice what day you say you're going to pay me. And then tomorrow came. And then she called me up just yesterday and says, well, Brian, could you lower your rates? Could you do it for like $500 less than this? And I said, why would I do that? I said, if I doubled or tripled my rates, it'll still be a good value for you. You're still getting a better value. The money you paid me, I'm going to spend, but what you get to use the benefits of it today and tomorrow and next week and next month and for the rest of your careers. Even if I doubled or tripled what I'm charging, I'm not going to know. I'm not going to lower my rates. I said, I should be charging twice as much, and it'll still be a good deal. And she says, okay, no problem. We'll just leave it like it is. And paid for it.
Wow. I
And paid
guess
me right away, too. Yeah.
yeah, she was just trying to negotiate. She trying to slip that in for just a minute, but she was like, "What?
Why would I do such a thing? If you're offering something to someone that's going to benefit them, and then that's going to benefit them, there's no reason to lower your rates. Most likely, you need to be charging more. Most likely.
Wow." So if someone is watching today and they're sitting in the audience and they're struggling with self-doubt, their ability to sell, what words of wisdom would you speak into their life on today?
Well, as grown-ups, very few adults could do anything successfully without some levels of accountability. And none of us have lived long enough to have all the answers. We all need some help. We all need some support. So you need to keep learning. I offer a free consultation to anyone that schedules it with my Calendly link. I don't know if you have it or not, but I'm willing to offer a free consultation. It's calendly.com/BK McNeill. BK McNeill, that's mine. But words of that will be encouraging. Let's say I never saw you again and I wanted you to sell well. I would say to ask yourself this question. Are you selling to people or for the people? See, if you're selling to them because you're trying to make money, if you're selling for them, it's because you know they're going to be better off. And if you know they're going to be better off, you owe it to them to motivate them to take your solution. You owe it to them to motivate them to take your solution. Selling today is more of a motivational act than it has ever been. Calendly.com, Sister Mia James. Calendly.com. It's a popular scheduling app. /BK McNeill. MCNE. Thank you, Ray. That's exactly right. What Ray put up there. Ray J. Johnson. Calendly. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that so much. You owe it to them to offer it to them. They don't have to accept it, but you have to offer your services. And if you know they're benefited by what you offer, you do owe it. Motivation is the thing. Your job is to motivate them to take an action. I do hope to speak to you, Mia. I do hope to speak to you, Sister Juanita. And it's free. There's a rap lyric by some poets of the 80s that I like. Okay? And it goes like this. Listen up, homeboy. Give this a thought. The next time someone's teaching, why don't you get taught? It's like that. I'm willing to teach. You guys should get taught.
Yes, Miss Mia James has a financial service company, and I'm actually a part of. She's the founder. She fired her boss at the age of 40, and she has a full-fledged financial service company. And I sent her the link yesterday, and she's helping me in this financial industry as well. So,
Wonderful.
Mia James,
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm gonna do some rapid fire fun just for a few minutes.
Okay, let's do it.
So tell me, before your keynotes, what is it, coffee or tea?
Before my tea, before I do anything, it's coffee for me.
It's always coffee. It's coffee
Yes,
for you?
Yes.
Okay, so what is one word that will describe your speaking style?
Dynamic.
Wow, that's so true. That's
Dynamic.
So true.
I rock when I give a workshop, and everyone in the room gets involved. Everyone gets involved in the fun. It's laughter and learning. Yep.
Okay, so what is your favorite scripture that fuels your faith in business?
Colossians 3:23 and 24. And whatsoever work you do, do it as if you're working for the Lord and not man, for you know there will be a reward for this.
Wow, that is powerful. Colossians 3:24. Did you
23 and 4? 3:23 and 4.
Okay, and tell me this. What book? I know your books is there, but besides yours, that every entrepreneur should read.
Besides mine? Okay. Besides my books, there's a thin little book. You can read it in the afternoon. It's an absolute treasure. It's called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. It's set in biblical times and is biblically based, but it's a little thin book. You can read it in a couple of hours probably, but I think it does the best as far as getting your mind right to be great. Set in the time period of Bethlehem and baby Jesus in the manger, that kind of time period. I think it does the best job of mentally preparing you to do this work great.
Wow.
And don't let the title throw you off. The greatest salesman in the world. That's the title, but it's based on biblical tenets, and it's the best.
Wow. I love little golden treasures that you can read in the afternoon. You know, as I love listening to audio, to just grab a nugget and just dive in, and a little thin one. Oh, I can do that all day long. So in the last one, tell me this, what's the best advice that you received in or out of uniform that you can give to the audience?
Okay, this is the best advice I ever got, and I'm going to share it with you. Two things to be successful in life. Number one is be willing to ask for more help. Be willing to ask for more help. And number two is be willing to accept more help. The best advice I ever got, the best advice I'm going to be giving. You can't do this by yourself, none of us. We all need some help, but be willing to ask for the help you need. And when it comes, I made the mistake 5-6 times. Someone raised their hand saying, Brian, I want to help you. I want to support your business. And I didn't let them. I didn't know how to use the help. But as I mature, I'm learning to accept help.
Thank you. And if you can give Virginia's virtual viewers one last golden nugget that they could take home today, what would that be?
Ask for the business. Ask for what you want. And ask formally. You don't have a problem with selling. You have a problem with making offers. Most of these entrepreneurs that tune into things like this, they might go a month and only offer their services once or twice, or 2 months, 3 or 4 times. But if you will offer your services, give people a chance to say no to you, and they get a chance to say yes to you, you'll sell more. And holler at your boy. Schedule time with me.
Schedule a time. Okay, I want to thank you so much for leaning in. I appreciate you. And like I said, your coaching service is absolutely amazing, and complimentary consultation for those individuals who need help. You want to lean in. So you want that information once again, how they can reach you?
calendly.com/BK McNeill, McNeill.
Love it. So thank you, Wings of Wisdom listening audience and Virginia's virtual viewers. We're so grateful to have you on today. And we will see you on the next episode of Wings of Wisdom.